starting off this countdown, we have the family vacation. Like I said before, some will believe that an artist named Trevor Henderson created this towering monster back in 2018, but others believe he's been around since the 1960s. Once Trevor posted his creation to his Twitter in 2018, numerous people came forward saying that they had seen him and shared photos and their stories on Sirenhead. One story that was shared was from a family. Back in 1966, this family was on vacation in Arizona. The family was doing some typical tourist stuff and explored the desert, which then led them to an old cemetery. They snapped a picture of the cemetery, but when they developed the pictures later, they saw this monster standing there between some gravestones. Now, I wish I had proof of this image, but apparently it got lost since they didn't have internet back then, so clearly they couldn't have just uploaded it online. Moving on to number 9, we have the hidden creature. For this sighting, we have the YouTuber Paranormal World recording himself as he walks through the forest searching for Sirenhead. It shows 5 different times that he saw Sirenhead. Now, the thing is, you can clearly tell that Sirenhead is edited in. He even admits to it. But if you look carefully during this video, you can clearly see Sirenhead in the background, and it's not edited in. In fact, the YouTuber didn't even notice that he captured it on footage. It's pretty eerie. Sometimes it's hard to see, and that's probably because Sirenhead is using his stealth-like ability to blend in with the surrounding trees. But you can see Sirenhead lurking in the background, watching him. Making our way down the list at number 8, we have the abandoned phone. This photo of Sirenhead was apparently taken in 2016. It was found on a cell phone in a wooden area. They don't know what happened to the cell phone's owner, but when they went through the photo album, they came across this terrifying image. So, it's safe to say that Sirenhead most likely captured and killed the phone's owner. In our 7th spot, we have the wildlife cam. Okay, this one is pretty creepy. So this video claims to be real life footage from a wildlife camera. Instead of it capturing deer or moose, the camera captured something more terrifying. Sirenhead. So in the video, you can see Sirenhead walking in the background. Now, it is a bit difficult to see because it's heavy fog, but if you concentrate, you can clearly see him in the background. Now, to add on to the creepy effect, wailing sirens can be heard in the background of the video. But people noticed that it sounds identical to a video posted that captured Chicago tornado warning sirens. This has led people to believe that this video is fake, and then they use the audio from someone else's video. But you be the judge, I'll let you decide. Coming in at number 6, we have the haunted forest. This next photo of Sirenhead was taken up in cottage country. Credit goes to anonymous 999999. So this man was sitting on his porch when he heard branches cracking in the nearby distance. Thinking that someone was trespassing on his property, he called out to them, but he was greeted by an echo of his own voice, and then sounds of static. Now, his phone's flashlight wasn't bright enough to see what was over there, so he decided to scare off whatever was there by his flash from his phone's camera. He started taking multiple photos of the area, and this apparently works because whoever was there, or whatever was there, left the property. Upon reviewing the photos, that's when he came across this one, and you can clearly see Sirenhead lurking in the trees. Again, with this photo, people have tried to debunk it, but it looks awfully real. We're now at our 5th and halfway mark with the quest for Sirenhead. So, YouTuber Jay Hills has multiple videos dedicated to finding and documenting Sirenhead. In one of his videos, he is walking through the forest using a GoPro to see if he can capture Sirenhead. About halfway through his mission, he feels uneasy and starts hearing weird noises like sirens. Now, he thought that this whole video was a fail until he got home and was reviewing footage from that day. When doing so, he realized that he actually caught Sirenhead on tape. Now, there is an ongoing debate in the comments. Some say it's clearly fake. I mean, yeah, it looks that way. But there are others that are convinced that it's real and undoctored. In our 4th spot, we have the deadly encounter. This is probably the scariest encounter with Sirenhead yet. So this video was posted on YouTube by the channel Golden Lane Studio, and they claim that they were hunted by Sirenhead. So basically, after encountering Sirenhead once already, his camera broke. But then they fixed it and went back to find the place where Sirenhead was hanging around before. So it starts with the guy driving to the location, and then he begins to hear white noise. Then Sirenhead emerges from a forest area behind a house. His camera starts to glitch and he runs inside a random house. See, this already has people questioning the video because how come the house wasn't locked and no one was conveniently there? Anyways, then you see Sirenhead walking by the house's window as this guy hides. The last thing we see is him getting attacked by a large hand. His camera drops and becomes all staticky and cuts out. So we never found out what happened to this guy. But the video did still manage to get uploaded, so... In our third spot, we have the close encounter. This story was posted on Reddit by the user Ubisoft is awful. Story goes that the narrator and their group of friends visited a forest in their area. But while wandering the forest, one of their friends, Jake, heard something. He turned to his friends and asked them if they heard it as well. The narrator just thought that his friend was being paranoid, but his other friend Caleb also heard it as well. Then all of a sudden they hear what sounded like a tornado siren. The siren got increasingly louder until it started hurting their ears. That's when they saw Sirenhead emerge from the trees. They managed to run and hide in a nearby cabin until he left. He claims that no one believes him, and I mean, why should they? But maybe he is telling the truth. In our second thought, we have the disappearances. So this is another encounter with Sirenhead from back in the day. In 1986, people kept going into the Himalayan mountains, but they never returned. They had a bunch of people disappearing without a trace. Now, police were sent to investigate, but when they got there, they heard an extremely loud ringing sound. It got so powerful that it caused some people to lose their hearing altogether, while others had ear and brain damage. They fled the mountain immediately and were never able to find the missing people. Now, they don't know what to think of this, but others believe that that's one of Sirenhead's homes and he feasts on tourists or lost hikers. And in our number one spot, we have the MOTEL monster. Now, this photo I'm about to show you is very creepy. Credits to this photo goes to user RK50. Story goes that a truck driver was staying over at a motel in a not so nice area. He said that even though the motel was pretty sketchy, it was the nicest one in this small town. On top of that, he was desperate for sleep after a long drive. However, in the middle of the night, he heard weird sounds coming from outside his window. When he looked, he caught Sirenhead just lurking by the wooded area. He got a quick snap of him before he made a high-pitched sound and disappeared back into the woods. Now, people have attempted to debunk this photo, but they can't. Either their Photoshop skills are on point, or Sirenhead is real. Starting off this countdown, we have the ancient drawings. One thing that's creepy is that before Trevor Henderson created this creature in 2018, apparently people have found ancient rock paintings depicting this creature from way back before then, proving that he dates back way before the artist even created him. These images can be found all over North America, meaning that there are more Sirenheads than we thought, or he just likes to travel around. The drawings depict an ancient tribe killing off a Sirenhead, or at least trying to. Prehistorically, only significant things were drawn onto rock. And yeah, I'd say Sirenhead is pretty significant. This means that Sirenheads threatened human life way before we thought. Moving on at number 9, we have the car chase. This video was uploaded by YouTube in May of 2020 on the channel Alex Howard. This user claims that on May 13th, 2020, Sirenhead was caught in California. In the video, a car is driving down a winding road lined with trees on both sides. Then suddenly, Sirenhead emerges and is seen towering over a telephone pole. In the background, you can hear the sounds of wailing sirens. The car continues to drive away and Sirenhead just stands there watching him. It's a pretty creepy video. But of course, people are quick to assume it's fake, although the YouTuber never said if it is or isn't. Maybe it is fake. Like, Come on, Sirenhead wouldn't let you get away that easy. That guy would have chased down the car and then killed the driver. Coming in our 8th spot, we have the night adventure. Some people are siren head hunters. Much like the Bigfoot, they are determined to get this creature on film. As a result, there are countless videos on YouTube of people that purposely wander into creepy forests at night looking for him, just like this next individual. This was uploaded to the YouTube channel Jojo Pastierson. They titled it Sirenhead Sounds Located in Eastern Europe. It shows this YouTuber wandering around their town before stumbling upon Sirenhead, but we never see him. We can only ever hear him. The video shows the YouTuber lurking around buildings and repeatedly checking out street lamps to make sure that it's not Sirenhead in disguise. Using only a flashlight to light their way, they continue on looking for Sirenhead. All we hear are the sounds of his screeching sirens and almost like a low growl or hissing. It's pretty creepy. Moving on to number 7, we have the city sighting. So it's said that Sirenheads mainly reside in forests or rural areas. In fact, most depictions of Sirenhead are of him in the forest lurking behind some trees. They prefer a forest because it's easy for them to blend in with their surroundings. Then they just wait until a local hiker gets lost or until the coast is clear for them to leave and then invade the small town. But recently, images of Sirenheads in big cities have began to surface online. Such as this image, for example. This image was posted by Reddit user WAF_XS just over a month ago. It was captioned as Sirenhead in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. The photo is pretty grainy, but you can clearly see the silhouette of Sirenhead lurking beside some tall buildings. One thing that gets me is that Sirenhead's height is always inconsistent. They are said to be around 40 feet tall. But some pictures of him make him only the size of a large tree, whereas like in this case, he's the size of a tall building. Either way, it seems like Sirenhead may be terrorizing cities now as well, meaning that no one is safe. In our 6th spot, we have Sirenhead's sounds. In case you are curious about what Sirenhead sounds like, which I don't know why you would be, his sounds can easily make your ears bleed and can explode your brain, but if you are curious, there are several videos out there that claim to be true recorded sounds from Sirenhead. Now, I listened to the audio for you all, and I'm still alive, so don't worry. But basically, this audio includes different sounds of sirens, whispers, and distorted voices. At one point you can hear high-pitched screeches, which actually did hurt my ears because of the frequency of it. There are also sounds of an ice cream truck, which is disturbing because it's Sirenhead's way to lure children to him. In another supposed recording, you can hear a very creepy and distorted voice talking. The voice says, "This is the emergency broadcast system saying this is not a test. This is a national emergency." It's so creepy. Then there's static and you can hear some creepy singing. And then another voice says, "This is the end of days. Say goodbye to everyone, everything." So yeah, if you do choose to listen to this recording, be warned, it's pretty disturbing. We are now at our 5th and halfway mark with the lurking monster. This is another pretty creepy photo that claims to be a real photo of Sirenhead. The photo was posted on Reddit 5 months ago by the user Radio Arsonist. The photo is taken from either a backyard or front driveway, I can't really tell, but you can see Sirenhead lurking in the background, hovering over some trees. I mean, he's not really stealthy. Even though it's dark out, you can still see his terrifying silhouette. Now, the user doesn't say where this photo was taken, but you can tell that it's in a small community, aka Sirenhead's favorite place to strike. Making our way down the list at number 4, we have the disappearance. On May 9th, 2020, Trevor Henderson tweeted out an image without a caption. The image was a bunch of accounts of supposed Sirenhead sightings all across Pennsylvania, like the case of Catherine Hubbins. Back in 1978, 9-year-old Catherine went missing from her home after hearing strange noises coming from the woods across from her family's backyard. Her sister Abby told the police that her and Catherine heard their mother calling to them from the trees, but she said something was wrong about this. Her voice was a little off and all echoey. But either way, Catherine wandered into the forest and was never seen again. In our 3rd spot, we have the missing teenagers. From the same post from Trevor, there's a police report about 4 teenage friends who went camping in 1984. The friends went to Allegheny National Park in Pennsylvania on an overnight trip, meant to return home soon after. After not returning home, one of the parents of the missing teens, Simon Foster, reported them missing. But before a search party got on the way, Simon turned up at his home all frantic. When questioned, he claimed that there was something huge in the woods that attacked them. He never got a good look at it and didn't mention anything about siren sounds, but some other details made people believe that it might have been Sirenhead. Sadly, none of Simon's friends were ever found. But in 1985, the shoe of one of the boys, David Work, was found after it fell from a tree and hit a passing hiker. This is pretty creepy because in the past, Sirenhead's victims have been found hanging from high up branches in trees. Moving on to number 2, we have the recorded audio. So in my last video, I talked about the Sirenhead sightings in the Himalayan mountains. In 1986, people kept going into the Himalayan mountains, but they never returned. As a result, they had a bunch of people disappearing without a trace. Now, police were sent to investigate, but when they got there, they heard an extremely loud ringing sound. It got so powerful that it caused some people to lose their hearing altogether, while others had ear and brain damage. Later on, it was thought that this was the sound of Sirenhead, and he was the reason why people were going missing. Now a transcript has emerged from this encounter. The actual audio is out there somewhere, but is said to be too disturbing to listen to. So in the transcript, one troop says, "Alpha, lead the way to the entity. It is some 30 kilometers from you." The other troop responds with, "Okay, you heard the command, come on." Then out of nowhere, you hear cries of pain before all the microphones burst. That's when the recording stops. Like I said before, you can try and look for the audio, but I don't recommend it. And in our number 1 spot, we have the disappearing monster. Posted on Reddit 2 months ago by the user lamps__, they claim that they got a real photo of Sirenhead. So story goes that they were out taking pictures in their backyard. They didn't notice anything odd until they were reviewing the photos. I swear that's how it always works. That's when they saw what appears to be Sirenhead lurking in the distance. They went back out to see if he was still there and took more photos. However, Sirenhead was gone. So if you see in the circled part, that clearly looks like Sirenhead's speaker head. So here's the thing. If this isn't Sirenhead, what is it? Could it be just a tree that happened to be in the shape of Sirenhead? Well, that's what people originally thought. But the user went back to the same spot and took another photo. The thing was no longer there. So unless he went out and chopped down a bunch of branches, that's a photo of Sirenhead. Starting off this countdown, we have the telephone poles. This photo was posted on Reddit by the user Acaciasm. They claim that they spotted 2 Sirenheads in California. Now, before you all jump down my throat, yes, those look like telephone poles. But true Sirenhead fans would know that Sirenhead can shapeshift into the form of telephone poles. Also, I've never seen a telephone pole that looks like that. I guess the ones in Canada are different, or maybe it's because it's Sirenhead. Coming in at number 9, we have the tornado warning. Of course, the most frequently captured sound of Sirenhead is that of him broadcasting tornado warning sirens. Well, this sound was captured again on June 20th, 2010 in Chicago, Illinois. Citizens were concerned when the sirens were heard for hours, but they weren't under a tornado warning. The Chicago Police Department was eventually called to the scene where the sound was originating from, which was from the direction of Willow Springs Woods. But when the police arrived, the sounds had stopped, and nothing was found in the wooded area. So Sirenhead is playing games with the popo. Moving on at number 8, we have the bombing sirens. Sirenhead loves to torture its victims by scaring them with different sounds that he can broadcast from his siren head. And that's exactly what he's been doing to the citizens of Belgrade, Serbia. This recording was captured on March 28th, 1999. On that day, over 100 residents suffered from severe hearing loss. So one resident said that at first they thought that their country was facing an attack, since sirens went off warning of a bombing. But they were confused once no bombs or jets were heard. The audio from this day captured the sounds of sirens and then a voice creepily saying hello over and over again. To make things worse, one person reported seeing what looked like an out-of-place lamppost on a hill near a graveyard. It It was spotted about 10 minutes before all the sounds began. In our 7th spot, we have the foggy afternoon. This photo was captured by the Reddit user Uncle Arky. He took a photo from his house located in the northeast area of Scotland. The photo captured the beautiful seaside on a foggy day. However, if you zoom into the background near the water, you can see the silhouette of Sirenhead. It's pretty creepy, especially because of all the fog surrounding him. But maybe Sirenhead was just out taking a little dip, or he was taking his bath and, you know what, you went and disturbed him. Like, give the poor guy some privacy. Making our way down the list at number 6, we have the local news. Hate to break it to any of my Scottish viewers, but Sirenhead has yet again been spotted in Scotland. Clearly, Sirenhead likes the water because he was captured by the seaside again. Well, this next photo was apparently posted in the small town's newspaper. It was warning citizens of a possible real siren head on the loose in their area. Not only that, but residents have reported hearing sounds of sirens and distorted voices playing in that area. That is really creepy and pretty recent also, so be careful because Sirenhead is hungry and looking for a snack. We are now at our 5th and halfway mark with the sunny day. This next photo was posted on Reddit by the user Evan McMinecraft. He literally gave no context besides labeling the photo as a cool pic I took. And yeah, it's a pretty cool pic that he took. I mean, you got a cute little pond, super green grass, beautiful sunny skies, and Sirenhead in the background. People began commenting like, dude, didn't you see you fully captured Sirenhead in the background? Turns out the photographer was completely clueless that he captured this massive beast. I don't know how he could have missed it though, like that thing is literally towering over those trees in the background. But personally, I just want to know why the grass looks so dang green. Like, what fertilizer are you using? Making our way down the list at number 4, we have the Ranger. On May 9th, 2020, Trevor Henderson tweeted out an image without a caption. The image was a bunch of accounts of supposed Sirenhead sightings all across Pennsylvania. I talked about some of them in my last video, and now I'm going to talk about the rest. So in 1990, a ranger at the Kings Canyon National Park came across a man on one of the trails in the forest. Except this man was clinging onto a tree branch 20 feet up in the air. The ranger tries calling to him, asking if he's alright and if he needs help getting down. But the man, who was never identified, didn't respond to any of the ranger's commands. Eventually, a rescue team came to retrieve the man from the tree. However, when they got up there, they discovered that the man was dead. His eardrums and eyes were found completely ruptured. Yep, that sounds like the workings of Sirenhead alright. In our 3rd spot, we have the announcement. Sirenhead has been recorded again. This recording was captured on August 28, 2018 in Weyer, Austria between 3:24 and 3:26 a.m. During this time, nearby residents heard what they described as a man talking through a megaphone in the forested areas of the town. In the morning, when police explored the area, they found an abandoned tent with 2 wallets inside. The wallets were found to belong to Joachim Muller and Bruno Koffler. Both these residents have since been reported missing. It's believed that Sirenhead has something to do with the disappearance of these men. When reviewing nearby footage, police found what appears to be the recorded audio from that night. If you listen to it, you hear normal nature sounds like owls hooting and crickets chirping. But then you also hear a man say something that sounds like, guys, someone's here. The voice sounds as if it was being broadcasted through a megaphone, or sirens. In our 2nd spot, we have the moving giant. So here is another supposed real-life sighting of Sirenhead posted by Trevor Henderson. In 1992, near New Hope, Pennsylvania, a drifter named Samantha Harp spotted, and I quote, something as tall as a telephone pole striding through the trees. She continued on by saying it was like one of the trees got up and started walking. The head was like a telephone pole with speakers hanging out of it, and as it passed by, it sang like an old song from the radio. Yep, sounds like Sirenhead. She's just lucky he didn't just scoop her up and eat her. And in our number 1 spot, we have the Snapchat. This sighting was posted on Reddit by the user Kurlos. It all started 2 months ago when he received a photo from his cousin at around 1 p.m. His cousin lives in Iowa and he lives in Texas. Now, the photo was sent on Snapchat, and in the background you can see a figure that looks like Sirenhead. Of course, this dude did not believe his cousin. I mean, I wouldn't have either. But that's when he got on FaceTime with him and showed him from his porch that Sirenhead was indeed in the distance. Now, I don't know about you, but you can't Photoshop on FaceTime. Unless that's a new added feature that I don't know about. On top of that, he also claims that at night he hears cop sirens. So this may be a legit sighting and this guy may need to move.